Want to know what it's really like to live in Roanoke?
We'll give you the pros and cons. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's happening today? I'm Hal Cone.
And I'm Chris Cone.
And we are realtors in Roanoke, Virginia. If this is your first time to our channel, please take the time to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you're notified each and every time we release a new video talking about living, working, and playing in this amazing region of Roanoke, Virginia.
That we call home, and we love it.
Yes.
We have folks constantly contacting us and with their friends and family that want to relocate here to either Roanoke, Salem, or Botetourt. We enjoy helping each and every one of them. So if you're thinking about moving to or living in any of the Roanoke Valley, please just give us a call, text us, or email us, whichever is convenient for you, and we'll start the conversation.
So make sure you call, text, or email.
So let's just dig right in. I think when we're talking about the pros of living in Roanoke Valley, the first one that comes to mind is absolutely, without a doubt, our natural beauty. There's so much here in the valley that we have that is just gorgeous. From the mountain ranges to living in the valley, we've got lots of hiking, biking, running trails, we have greenway access and everything. Also water access. So there's water recreation sports like kayaking, canoeing, tubing. We always go tubing, it's so much fun.
Down the James River.
Right, fly fishing, anything you can think of with water. We have so many natural streams, and we have quite a few lakes and ponds. It's gorgeous.
Yep.
Remember where we went this weekend?
So just this weekend, we went to church on Sunday, and afterwards we went with some friends. In 5 minutes, we were on a trail over at Reed Mountain, which was phenomenal. And we had 60-degree weather in January, so that was not normal, but it was such a blessing to be able to do that. So we went hiking on a Sunday instantaneously after church.
Right, and you can choose so many different trails. There's trails for those strenuous, serious hikers. We have the Appalachian Trail to choose from, lots of different paths. You can go in for miles and days and do the whole thing all the way to Maine. It runs from Maine to Georgia. Or you can just hop on and off. There's a lot of family hiking trails. There's
like Roaring Run is a great one that we just took our kids to end of the summer. And super flat, there's like an old mill there and that type of thing. Tons of opportunities for natural outdoor recreation.
Yes, and biking. Talk about biking.
Yeah.
Road biking, but also mountain biking.
Yeah. East Coast capital for mountain biking here in Roanoke, Virginia.
Congratulations.
So, like Carvin's Cove, and we're gonna do a video later on like the top 5 mountain biking trails in the area. So make sure you check that out later. Another thing we need to talk about as far as a pro would be access, right?
That's right.
So access, what's it like to get around town here? What's it like to have access to actual major cities, right? Major cities are super within your reach from Roanoke. So you've got like Charlotte, which is 3 hours away. Raleigh's about 4 hours away. DC's about a 4-hour drive away, but nobody from down here really wants to drive to DC and actually have to go through all that traffic. Because you could spend like 5 hours just trying to get around the Beltway in DC. So what a lot of people do here, take the train. We have an Amtrak station here, which you can take the train from here to DC. It takes about 5 hours on the train without any traffic. So how awesome is that? And you can work, play, whatever while you're on the train. It's like an 8 to 10 hour train ride to New York. Speaking of New York, it's only like an 8-hour drive if you want to go up 81. So 81's that main thoroughfare here. So
and then Atlanta. We came from Atlanta.
That's right.
I'm actually native to Roanoke, which it's changed so much. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That's right.
But if you're wanting to go south to Atlanta, it's only an 8-hour drive.
That's right, yeah.
So that's a really nice perk. And the beach. You can get to the beach in about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So we're very centrally located in Southwest Virginia.
So if you're a beach person, but you have to live in the mountains, you're still close to the beach, so you could live here, enjoy the majesty here, and then go to the beach when you need your beach fix, right?
That's right.
And so then around town,
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. You can get pretty much anywhere in about 20 minutes. That's what we always do.
Right, sure.
And it stands pretty true from one side of town to the other in about 20 minutes. That's nice. But for traffic, as I mentioned, we came from Atlanta, so we're used to a lot of traffic. But you don't have to worry about traffic or anything here in those high volume times, like right before work and right after work. Of course, there will be areas throughout town that do get congested, but for the most part, we have very low to moderate traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one of the best things about our region is four seasons. So we get winter, spring, summer, and fall. And
very distinct.
Yes, there is a delineation line, so it's not like it's like you have one or the other. You have all four. So we do get some snow. So we're in winter right now while we're doing this, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So, so we get a little bit of snow, not a ton, but enough to go sledding a couple times throughout the year.
Right.
And you can go, and we've got, the great thing about that is we're close to access for snow skiing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can quickly drive to any resort. We have quite a few resorts in the area that you can snow ski. When the Blue Ridge Parkway closes down, you can cross-country ski if that's your thing.
Yep.
Lots of sledding opportunities with the hills and the mountains we have around here. So winter fun is great.
It is, and you could go to Massanutten, you can go to Wintergreen Resort, and then you can also go to Snowshoe, which is in West Virginia, which is even bigger mountain for skiing up there.
Yeah.
So wintertime, and another thing you can do in the winter here is like you can go to the Hotel Roanoke, right?
Sure, yeah. Every year it's a tradition for our family to go to Hotel Roanoke, and they display Christmas trees that are decorated by local nonprofits, typically organizations, and they want to highlight their company, and it's a kind of a competition to see whose tree was voted best. So lots of fun there. But what about spring?
There are festivals and activities everywhere, and that really goes spring all the way through summer.
Right, and fall.
Yeah, but it starts kicking off in the spring, and it is just crazy. I mean, basically, you can throw a dart at a calendar and find something to do almost every single weekend, even during the week. So perfect for families. I mean, Strawberry Festival, I think that's first part of May, maybe. And so that's downtown Roanoke. You can go down there and just get strawberry funnel cakes and strawberry shortbreads, and it's crazy.
So good.
Yeah.
But spring brings lots of flowers, lots of natural beauty popping up, and then that's when it's great to start hiking too. So you see all those flora and fauna throughout the year.
Right.
And then summertime is really great as well. I mean, lots of parks here for families. So you can definitely take your kids out to the park any day. Love that.
Yeah, and then also with the summertime comes some amazing outdoor concerts, right?
Yeah.
So we got two major outdoor venues for that. So you got Elmwood Park, which is downtown Roanoke.
Right, it's an amphitheater, it's gorgeous.
And then you've got Dr. Pepper Park, which what they do a whole lot of, and they changed it up this year, which is going to be awesome. They do a whole lot of like 70s, 80s tribute bands, which are amazing. It's kind of Flashback Fridays, and then they're also doing some country music folks this year as well, which is going to be amazing.
Summer is fun for concerts.
So then the creme de la creme, right?
Right.
Is fall.
Autumn is so gorgeous around here. It truly is breathtaking. Driving along the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then, our tradition every fall is always going to pumpkin patches and Jeter Farm. We love that.
Yeah, and there you get to actually take a little hayride, you get to have some hot cocoa, you go and you can slide down these awesome slides.
It's like quintessential fall.
Yes.
So you can take your little pumpkin spice latte and your cute little scarf and your high boots and just have a blast with the family. It's a lot of fun.
Right, yeah. So I think that covers all. So we covered winter, spring, summer, and fall, I think, right?
Yes.
And then don't forget about the amazing foliage. Did you forget that?
Well, I didn't really touch on that, but we have so many beautiful trees, native trees, that bring with it just incredible color. So you're talking vibrant yellows, reds, oranges. The mountains just light up, and some days on that peak weekend, it looks like it's on fire. It's gorgeous.
So beautiful. So that kind of leads us to 4 awesome things about Roanoke as far as pros. And the 5th one is we have a low, moderate cost of living.
Yes.
Now, we were just looking at some stats earlier, and we're not going to bore you with those real estate stats, but we'll just throw these out there real fast. Average selling price of a home last year was about $228,000 in the Roanoke Valley, which is definitely under most of the United States, giving you access to good housing. These are 3-4 bedroom homes that are selling for that price with decent square footage. So you've got a low to moderate cost of living in comparison for Virginia.
Right, and we really appreciate that coming from Atlanta and then Asheville. Asheville, North Carolina is very comparable to Roanoke in a few ways, like topography and climate, outdoor recreation. There's a lot of opportunities there as well. But the cost of living there is so expensive.
Yeah. So we sold our house there about 8 years ago. The person who bought it from us just sold it last year for $100,000 more than what they bought it from us for. So that was the appreciation they had within, like 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we're not seeing that astronomical of a increase in property values here right now.
Yes, but we do live in a very hot market. We could go on and on about the pros of Roanoke. Now, let's be realistic and tell you some of the cons. So some of those drawbacks that you need to be aware of if you're thinking about moving to the Roanoke Valley area.
Your top 5 employers in the area would be Carilion Clinic, Wells Fargo, Advanced Auto, Kroger, and then you've also got the school systems throughout. So a lot of people who are moving here are going to be relocated with a company. With that said, there's not a lot of white collar jobs per se, but with that comes a lot of opportunities.
Right, exactly. If you want to put your stamp on the area, then come on down.
That's right.
We would love to have you. Some people say we don't have a lot of local arts and music scene, but we do have a lot of visual and performing arts and also music venues.
Yes.
So it's fantastic. One of our favorites is we could go to Jefferson Center and see a wide variety of programming. The Taubman Museum of Art is terrific. Free to tour their galleries, and then they have Art Venture at the bottom for children and families just to explore the creative side. There's Center in the Square for a lot of museums and things, but also Mill Mountain Theater is located there. We have a really strong children's theater program as well, so that's exciting. And then you have things like Roanoke Symphony and Opera Roanoke. So there's a lot of performing and visual arts. As for music, we touched on a few of those earlier. We also have Harvester, which is very close. That's a performance hall. So I think you'll be fine with music and arts here. The scene is
you will have access to it. I mean, you've got those areas. You've got Roanoke College in Salem, so you've got stuff there. You've got Hollins out in Roanoke County. So, and you've got Virginia Tech's not too far from here as well, over in Blacksburg. So you've got options if that's your thing, is like the arts and music. You are not gonna be missing a whole lot. I mean, and you're super convenient, like we said earlier. So you can get to New York with that. If you got to get to New York fixed, you can get there pretty quickly in a day.
That's right.
The other thing that I think you've seen, or you heard, especially if you lived here, was the fact that Roanoke is a little slow in progress and change, right?
Right.
So kind of what's happened since you were here to where we are now?
I tell you what, right, exactly. So I have seen a huge change leaving as a young adult 10 years ago, and then living a big city life in Atlanta, then Asheville, and then coming back. I so appreciate Roanoke now for how much it has changed in 10 years, and also coming back now as a mom as to when I left as a young adult. It's a different culture. You can see that there's things for everybody here. That's what I like about Roanoke. If you're a young adult, if you're a professional, if you're retired, there's something for everybody. But coming back as a mom, and it's just been really neat to see the change that has been happening throughout. And I'm talking about how downtown Roanoke has become more vibrant and people are always out and about. How the parks have been renewed and restored and cleaned up. The greenway system, that's pretty elaborate now, and they're trying to connect it all
completely
together.
Connected from north, south, east, west. There's a few spots that aren't quite there yet, but they're super close to doing that.
And the economy and who we're drawing into the area is what I've been most pleased to see, because we're drawing in people that appreciate nature, and they're helping our economy, and I see the direction that Roanoke's headed, and it's great.
Yeah, and with it being kind of smaller as far as the region's like 300 and some odd thousand in the whole region around here, you've got the opportunity that if you want to get down in the trenches and you want to make an impact through politics or through making changes happen, it's easy to get your foot in the door and really make those happen, whether through grassroots efforts or just saying, hey, meeting the right people and having conversations and making it happen. And as far as continued progress with like the economy, one of the things that we've got is the broadband authority. So we're making sure that broadband is accessible so people can telecommute, people can do all sorts of things on that front.
So one of the last drawbacks that people may say is that I travel for work and there's not a lot of direct flights to these places I need to go. Why don't you speak to that, because he traveled quite a bit.
Yeah, I used to travel a whole lot. I was in healthcare IT, I was flying all over the country, the client sites, and so for me, you know, we first moved to Asheville, then we moved to here from Atlanta. I love the fact that it was a small airport, because in Atlanta there were multiple times I had to get there like 3 hours early on a Monday morning. So if I had a 6 o'clock flight, I'm getting there like at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then sometimes I still wouldn't be guaranteed to make my flight, and it was horrible.
How bad was it?
Horrible. Whereas here in Roanoke, anytime I went out there, it's like basically you get there hour and a half, hour max, because I only have a little bit of time, and they still make their flight because we have one terminal, and so there's pros and cons to that, right? So super efficient, super easy to get in and out of. Parking's right there. You don't have to worry about park and fly and all that stuff like you would in Atlanta.
Right.
But you got direct flights from here to New York. You got direct flights from here to Charlotte, Atlanta, down to Florida, on Allegiant, like once or twice a week. So you've got access to major airports from here. You just have to have a connection flight to get to where you're going. It takes a little bit longer.
Well, I hope this gives you a good overview of Roanoke Valley, those things that would really draw you to the area, those pros, and some things you need to consider before you are considering moving here.
Yeah, absolutely. So pros and cons of Roanoke. Please, if you have any questions, text us, email us, call us, and we will be happy to have a conversation with you. Again, I'm Hal Cohn.
And I'm Chris Cohn.
You guys have a great day. Bye.
Bye.